The car had barely rolled out of the driveway when the boy spoke. "They're after my $7 million. Please help me." His voice was brittle, hesitant, as if words were foreign to him. Maybe they were. For 3 years he hadn't stirred. Not a blink, not a shudder, not a single breath out of place. Bedridden, silent, his eyes stared blankly, like a doll abandoned on a dusty shelf. Then they left for Hawaii. A sudden week-long family getaway, an emergency they called it. They pleaded with me to stay behind. To look after Ethan, my wife's brother's son. "You're the most dependable," they said. "He trusts you." No one expected me to agree, but I did, quietly, without protest. The moment their car vanished down the hill, the boy who was supposed to be lifeless stood up. I froze, staring as he moved, unsteady, like someone waking from a long, unnatural sleep. I thought it was a dream until he looked at me, through me, and repeated, "They're after my $7 million. It was meant to be temporary when I first took Ethan in. He was already mute, catatonic, they said, broken by the accident that claimed his parents. The family called it grief, and I believed them. Why wouldn't I? These were people who laughed at my wedding speech, raised glasses to me, called me family. My wife said caring for him was the least we could do, that he was harmless. I built ramps, changed linens, held his limp hand through storms. For 3 years, I thought I was helping, wiping drool, believing his empty gaze was trapped in a prison of sorrow. But he wasn't trapped, he was hiding. That first night after they left, Ethan told me everything. His father's trust fund, $7 million, came with strings. He had to survive until his 18th birthday. He was 17, 8 months in. Suddenly, it all clicked. The pills that left him groggy, the therapist who dodged my calls, the family's rigid routines. He wasn't healing because they didn't want him to. I'd been their unwitting nurse, feeding him their poison, tending to their cash cow. I should have raged, smashed something, but anger makes some men roar and others precise. I just nodded and said, "All right. Let's keep you dead a bit longer." That night I set up cameras, small, hidden ones, some disguised as baby monitors. I needed proof, not guesses. By day, Ethan and I practiced, he played limp. By night, I taught him to move, speak, think, trust again. I met a lawyer in secret, memorized the will's terms. If Ethan died before 18, the money went to the closest blood relative. That's when I saw it. My wife didn't love me. She was managing me. They sent happy videos from Hawaii, my wife beaming beside her brother, accidentally revealing one bed in their hotel room. Charming. I smiled back, sent updates. "He's stable, no change." Moaned once, probably a reflex. All the while, I watched her laugh with the man plotting his nephew's end. I dug deeper. Found payments from the trust, monthly withdrawals signed by guardians for private care, medications, upkeep. They were draining Ethan's fortune while keeping him drugged and still. It wasn't just betrayal, it was theft in slow motion. By day 5, I had everything. Videos of Ethan walking, talking, weeping. A recording of my wife and her brother on a call she thought was private, discussing euthanasia options. If he passed in his sleep, she said, sipping wine, we could start a scholarship in his name. Their faces were calm, practiced. I saved every frame, every syllable. On the 7th morning, the doorbell chimed. They were back, tanned and grinning. My wife hugged me like nothing was wrong. "How's our little angel?" she asked. "Still sleeping," I said. That night, I gave Ethan a final, small dose of sedative, just enough to keep him still. Then I called the police. Paramedics arrived first. I told them his breathing seemed off. They rushed him to the hospital. I followed. My wife stayed behind, claiming she needed to unpack. Smart move. At the hospital, I told the doctors he might have been misdiagnosed, that he'd tried to speak. They ran tests, stopped the meds. Within 48 hours, Ethan opened his mouth before 6 medical staff and said, "They tried to kill me." The aftermath was swift. Police interrogations, frozen accounts, lawyers on every call. The videos went to Child Protective Services and the estate's attorney. I sat across from my wife in court a week later. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Her brother had vanished, but the money trail hadn't. They traced every dollar, every lie, every forged signature. She tried tears, claimed I'd manipulated Ethan, gaslit him. But when they played the tape, Her voice sang. It'll be like he drifted away in his sleep. The courtroom froze. No more pity, no more she was grieving. Just silence, then sentencing. Ethan lives with a new guardian now, someone we chose together. He's safe, for weeks from 18. I didn't take a cent. I never wanted the money. I wanted them to look up at their ruin and see me, the man they thought was their pawn, orchestrating their downfall. They saw me as the caretaker. I was their executioner. When they returned, I didn't shout. I smiled and watched their world collapse.